Lila Ramirez hesitated at the edge of the rooftop terrace, her fingers tightening around the strap of her purse. The charity gala was everything she did not belong to. Crystal chandeliers reflected in floor-to-ceiling windows, champagne fountains bubbling like liquid gold, gowns sweeping behind women who had never clipped coupons a day in their lives. And yet she was here. For her son, for the job, for the opportunity to present her community project to the board that funded children's programs in the city. An opportunity she would not get if she lost her nerve now. But right this second, all she wanted was 5 minutes of quiet. 5 minutes to breathe. She spotted an empty table tucked in the corner of the rooftop, half shadowed by string lights stretched like constellations across the sky. Everyone else was inside listening to the orchestra. Perfect. She slipped onto the chair with a sigh of relief, letting the cool evening air loosen the tight knot of anxiety in her chest. Her heels pinched. She wasn't used to heels, but she'd done her best. She'd thrifted the dress and stitched the hem and prayed no one would notice she didn't belong. She was just beginning to relax when a deep voice beside her said, "Do you mind if I sit?" She looked up, and froze. Him, the man every newspaper article, business panel, and late-night talk show adored. Alexander Hayes, billionaire tech entrepreneur, CEO of Hayes Industries. The man whose donation could make or break entire programs with a single signature. He didn't look like he belonged at a gala either. His tie loosened, jacket draped over one arm, hair slightly mussed like he'd run a hand through it one too many times. For someone whose net worth hovered somewhere around the GDP of a small country, he looked surprisingly human. "Oh, sure," she managed. "I mean, yes, of course." He smiled, the kind that warmed rather than dazzled. "Only if I keep you company," he said as he pulled out the chair. Her breath hitched. Was that? No. She must have imagined the flirtation in his tone. Men like him didn't flirt with single moms who used coupons and fixed dresses at midnight. He sat, resting his forearms casually on the table. "You look like you could use a break." Lila gave a shaky laugh. "Is it that obvious?" "Only to someone who's also pretending to enjoy this event." She blinked. Alexander Hayes pretending. "You don't like galas." "I like writing checks," he said. "But I'd rather do it in an office. Or over email." His eyes softened. "But you look like you're hiding." She straightened. "I'm not hiding." He tilted his head. "Okay, maybe a little," she admitted. "Crowds aren't my thing. And yet you came." She shrugged. "Had to." He studied her more closely now, not in the predatory way some men did, but as if he was actually trying to understand her. "What brought you here?" he asked. Lila swallowed. "A children's program. I run it. After-school tutoring, free meals, STEM workshops. I'm hoping to secure funding." He tightened his jaw slightly, like her words mattered more than she realized. "You run it alone?" "Well, yes." She lifted her chin. "There's no one else to run it." A shadow crossed his face. "No partner." She almost laughed. "If you mean is there someone at home to watch my kid while I'm here in shoes that are slowly killing me?" "No." His brows rose. "You have a child?" She nodded. "Ethan, 7. He wants to be an engineer. Builds tiny robots out of cereal boxes." That earned a soft chuckle from him. "Sounds like my kind of kid." The warmth in his voice tugged at something in her chest. Something she hadn't felt in years. Interest. Mutual interest. "In you?" she asked before she could stop herself. "Why are you hiding out here?" He leaned back, gaze drifting over the glittering city skyline. "When people know your name, they stop talking to you like you're human. They talk to the idea of you. The money. The myth." He met her eyes again. "But you didn't." Her cheeks warmed. "I didn't recognize you at first." "That's even better." Silence settled between them, not awkward, but easy, like two people who had slipped out of a world that didn't fit. He cleared his throat suddenly. "You said you run a program. Tell me more." Her heart fluttered. Most people changed the subject immediately when she talked about her work, but he leaned in like every detail mattered. So she told him about the kids who needed laptops. About the single parents who relied on the program to keep their kids safe after school. About her son's dream to build something that changed the world, even though he'd grown up with so little. And Alexander listened, really listened. By the time she finished, her eyes were misty and she felt foolish. "Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble." "You didn't ramble." His voice was low, steady. "You care. That's rare." She looked down at her hands. "I'm just doing what I can." "Lila," he said softly. Her head jerked up. She hadn't told him her name. "You're on the attendance list," he explained. And I read every name. I try to know who I'm helping. The fact that he'd remembered her name, her humble, unimportant name, sent a strange warmth rippling through her. Your project, he continued, shouldn't have to fight for funding. She exhaled slowly. It always does. His jaw tightened. Not anymore. Her heart thudded. What does that mean? It means, he said, leaning in until she could see the flecks of silver in his eyes, that if you'll let me keep you company, not just tonight, I'd like to hear everything you need. And then make sure you get it. Her breath caught. This was dangerous. This was impossible. This was, Alexander, she whispered, you don't even know me. He smiled. I'd like to. Something fluttered inside her, tentative and hopeful. Okay, she said quietly. Company sounds nice. His smile deepened. The orchestra inside swelled. The lights shimmered like 1,000 fireflies. And on a quiet rooftop above a world that had never made space for her, Lila felt something extraordinary beginning. Something she never expected. Something that might change everything.